Mahnoor Ahmad.
Mahnoor Ahmad.
Shit. Okay, well, but both pronunciations are valid.
Yes,
Okay.
they are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
It's better than some people have really butchered my name, so it's fine.
Well, you called me Christopher Sweet, so it's definitely Sweet.
Because I've been interviewed by someone whose last name was Sweet before, so
Okay.
I don't know why, I just kind of mixed it together.
It happens. Now, where are we sitting?
We are in Lombard.
Okay.
Yeah, the hub of where I'm going to be running my
Yes.
campaign. It's really interconnected with a lot of the district, and the highlight of Lombard is now it is booming with a lot of businesses on Roosevelt Avenue. There's have you heard of Devon Street?
No.
Okay, so there's a Devon Street in Chicago. It has a bunch of Indian and Pakistani and Arab, not too much Arab, but restaurants and clothing stores, and now they're bringing that to Lombard.
That's cool.
So now Lombard has like this whole, really you could venture off and eat at any of these restaurants. I remember when we were back 20 years ago, we would have to drive out to Devon Street, 40 minutes or something,
Sure.
and just to eat like Pakistani food.
Okay.
And now, it's crazy. You can just order it on your phone and pick it up, and it's like 10 minutes away.
That's awesome.
So that's something.
Okay. Now, you came on my radar when you decided to run for Congress.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
okay.
it.
And well, Sean Casten is the sitting congressperson. I know there's been some redistricting, and there's a lot of debates about if he's serving his constituency or not. But like, where did you start your career, and how did that become political?
Yeah. So when I started running, I was working in healthcare field, and at this point I was the director of a lot of the regional groups, and I was keep on hitting this wall. No matter how hard we worked on the ground, no matter how much I trained the interns, no matter how many contracts we were able to get and really build a liaison and connectivity through our systems for our public health, and especially in those desert areas where people don't have food sources or healthcare access. But what I was running into was a funding issue. And I looked it up. I'm like, what is this going on? And I did my research, and I found out there were people like Sean Casten who were really withholding that funding. And I was very confused because I was like, this is a Democratic individual, so I just don't understand. So you know what? I'm just going to run against him.
Okay.
Wow. And because I feel like people who go into public health and healthcare in general, you kind of need that sense of gratification. And when you don't get that, you have to look for answers other ways. And that's where I saw myself. I was like, oh, I cannot help these individuals until something is done. So that's why I ran my campaign on healthcare, on getting access, Medicare for all. That was, I truly believe that there's no reason for you not to have healthcare, because especially if you're a child, just because your parents can't afford it, or if you're an elderly because you no longer can go and have a job. Even in our community, I would, I go to these grocery stores and I see an older individual with like carpal tunnel, and that's painful for, it's like bone on bone grinding on each other, and they have to do that work. So, and it's painful to see that.
Sure.
And there's something we could do about it, and that needs to be done. So that was where, that's what led me through that path. So,
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Congress is maybe not the most attractive place to be. So like, how did you overcome Like, did you talk to your family or friends or ask anybody, like, is this the right thing?
So it's a good question. I told my family I was going to run for office, and they were like, okay, cool. Like, they were always supportive, 100%, with my decisions that I made. And I told other people, and I would go to these events, like these, some of them were Democratic events, and they would be like, oh, what are you running for? I'd be like, oh, I'm running for Congress. They're like, oh, what seat? And I would say,
Okay.
Sean Casten. Their jaw would drop. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why? And this was, before anything that happened after October 7th. So it wasn't, now everyone knows his name. Sure. Because of all the protests and everything else that's been going on, that people now know who their congressman is. Before, you'd be surprised. I'd tell people, oh, do you know who your congressman is? And they wouldn't know. So okay. I think that was something that really took off the curtain and exposed everyone of who they were. Mm-hmm. And so that, and then afterwards, when that happened, my campaign just took a different turn, because as a congressional candidate, the first question they would ask someone like me, who's a Muslim, woman, where do you stand on this? What is your stance on this? And I told them clearly, and we need an immediate permanent ceasefire, and that was back then, 2 years back, and so that, and the current congressman wasn't doing anything. He said we need to resist, and we need to fight everyone who's trying to do any damage to Israel, regardless of what kind of damage they're doing, and give them a blank check. And that became a lot of the campaign, and because of what was going on internationally, it was the whole world. Sure. Was that they were protesting, and I had to take a stance, and when I did, a lot of the people who were for me in the party, or even, they just flipped like a chair. They're like, oh, I'm not going to go with you anymore. You're, I don't regret any of it, because it doesn't matter if, I'm a person who believes that it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's about where do you stand, what is who you are. You should never lose that, and never lose sight of that, and why you were there in the first place. So after that, and also that the district the 6th Congressional District is the largest Palestinian population in the United States. Sure. Because Chicago has been like the immigration hub for so long, and because of, and it really shows that this, the Palestinian cause was going on before any of this. That's why they were migrating. I think that the efforts, we put in a lot of efforts, but there was this, this pressure of not just the party, the establishment, but everyone else who wanted to protect them. And I didn't feel it in the beginning as much as I did as the campaign went on. And from every angle, even like making sure that I did not raise enough, or making sure I can't even come into a township and talk. Like it was every little minute thing. So it was strange for me to see that, in a sense, because I'm a person who, if I want to go to a restaurant, I want to see all the options, okay? Yeah. I want to see what kind of fries you have, and I'll order which one. I don't want you to tell me this is the best fries, And it's the same thing when you go to the voting booth. I want to see my options. Mm-hmm. And trying to get, and then if I ask you what are these options, I want to know what it is. But they didn't even, the message was being suppressed almost from every angle. And I mean,
was that surprising?
Yeah, because I saw it, at some level from my own community, which was strange and kind of hurtful. But, you know, I think that there's a lot of work to be done at every level of government. And there's just so, and I mean, the level of racism that came out was absurd. But I think that, you know, we need to keep pushing the message and just stay strong to your ground and not be molded into who anyone would want you to be. So then, you know, and they were like, and there was a lot of times they said that, oh, that's too strong to say, that's just not electable. Don't say that, that's not electable. You have to say, and I'm like, no, Palestinians do have the right to return. They're like, no, that's just not electable. You can't say that. And I'm like, no, I don't care if it's electable or not. I want to say what's the truth, and I want to do what's right. And if not, then I don't want it.
Sure.
I'm only doing this for that. So that was a little bit of what happened in the campaign.
Okay. Do you think, well, we should talk about this for a second. Do you think that there are still like pressures that Muslim candidates face in American politics that maybe don't get talked about very often? Or was there anything that you saw that you thought like was directed towards the religious dimension of your identity?
So, I mean, there were times when I would knock on a door, people had no idea what I was.
Yeah.
They'd be like, she could be, I've gotten the whole spectrum of things. But if you know, if they were, you know, they knew that Ahmed was like comes from a Muslim background, if they knew that, then yeah, right off the bat, like, they would just be like, I could just see in their eyes, there was just like a little hesitance, and they wouldn't say it, but they were like, okay, thanks. Like, you know, just like, ugh. But most of the majority of the time, I think if it's, it depends on where you run, of course, like what type of districts you run. When I would go to communities of other ethnicities, that would be, you know, they would be very accepting of me. We need representation at every level. I don't think that you should only have one ethnicity or one gender or one color to represent all. They're just things that other people have seen and have felt, and they need to be at the table to make those decisions based on what has happened.
Yeah, it definitely has an impact on policy. There's some people that are more willing or less willing.
And I'll just give you the example of, you know, why I ran was because of the social determinants factor. As a public health, you know, we look at social determinant factors on where we can allocate our resources. So there was a bill that was, you know, he said no on, and that was regarding we need the research material for the social determinant factors so we can get funding to those areas, like Black and brown communities. You know, during childbirth, you're three times more likely to die. That's not a complication. That is something wrong with our system, systematically. You know, that will never be addressed if you have someone who has no idea what it is to be a woman or be a woman of color. So I think that really does matter. It's essentially saves lives.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, your congressional run inspired you, obviously. And it sounds like you got to work the cobwebs out and put yourself out there publicly.
Yeah.
And was it a good experience overall?
It was an experience.
Okay. But now we're here, well, we're in DuPage County. And you're running again. So, I mean, how did, like, I mean, did you have to take a break? And then, like, how did you decide to get back into it so quickly?
I was someone in high school, I would have like AP classes and I would have like a 0 hour. I remember I had AP class, bio, and then I would have badminton, and then I would be the vice president of the science club, and my schedule was always so packed, and I feel like I've always been on high gear. So when, even when the campaign ended, your body's still going. It doesn't, like, your body's still responding that way, and the campaign is done. And no matter what the results were, it was a lot of effort, a lot of work that I put into community, into messaging, into really waking up, most especially the Democratic establishment. Like, wake up, we have to wake up. And I'm not done waking them up.
Okay.
I'm not done telling them and trying to tell them that we need to move to the right path, because we see that even, at a bigger level when you zoom out, you see people like Chuck Schumer and Jakeem Humphrey. They're not the most popular, and the Democratic Party is, just following their footsteps. And they were the last ones to jump on the wagon when Zohran Mamdani was running, and that's not what people want. And I've just seen that, and a lot of the voters, they're just trying to block them out from candidates like me. Like, don't talk to them, don't see them, don't, and I saw that, and when I was running for Congress, and that was extremely frustrating and not right. That's not democracy. Democracy is not, and they're like, no, we're doing this to protect the party. No, that's not how you protect the party. That's how you protect yourself and your own self-interest and your own, wherever you're getting your funding from. But that is not you trying to protect the party or the people. And this notion that it's about the party and not the people needs to just, go. It's always about the people. The people who elect you, the people are who you are accountable to, and no one else.
Sure. Yeah, I see that. And then, so obviously you want to shake it up. Now, you decided to run for DuPage County, how do we say
Board.
it? Board.
District 2, yeah.
District
I know,
2.
Cook County, you guys got the commission, right? Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, and every county has a little different setup.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're still motivated to pursue a seat.
Yeah.
So, like, what shaped your decision-making on getting back into this so quickly and running in DuPage County?
I was always planning on working with DuPage County, because I feel like there's just so much potential in that. New families are moving in, and they can't afford anything, can't buy the houses there. Seniors are at a fixed income, and they're not able to really stretch their dollars. And it is a county where the second leading cause of death for children is suicide. And it is the second wealthiest county in Illinois. And the problem is not the people. There are such good people here, and such good families here, and everyone just wants to, grow and just be safe and really raise their families. And the problem we have is more locally.
Okay.
That doesn't let the people have their own voice. They're kind of like doing their own thing in the county, and then that affects all of DuPage County. But DuPage County has no idea what's going on.
Okay.
There needs to be a pipeline of information that we can have in and out of the county, what's going on. Like, there needs to be a transparency, and there isn't. I know, like, we have these emails that go out, and that's if you sign up for DuPage County emails. Like, how many families are going to do that? You know? And I think that we need to get every individual to participate in their county, in their local, and be more aware of what is happening. And that is how we'll change counties, and then change who gets elected, who doesn't get elected, and that's the work that needs to happen at county level. And there's a lot of work to be done, and I think we're going to need so many people at every level of government. And I would be, more than happy if I could earn the vote of these individuals and really have my responsibility be to just account for what is happening in the county and being able to deliver to them.
Okay, and the election, you said, is starting?
Yeah, so it starts
Soon.
February 4th. So,
Okay.
everyone's going to be gone for Thanksgiving. Then we got the holidays. Then we got, New Year's, and boom, election is February 4th. And election day is St. Patrick's Day, so March 17th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the irony.
Yeah, yeah.
And is it an open seat?
No, it is not.
Okay.
So
You're picking some hard districts.
I mean, it was an open seat that someone left, but it's
Okay.
not an open seat. I'll tell you why. Because that individual, tapped on the shoulder of who they want that person to run, and that needs to stop.
Okay.
We can't do that anymore. We can't be like, okay, I'm leaving this seat because I'm going to go for the top seat. It's not. Public service is not a promotional ladder that you climb.
Sure.
And just because you're leaving that seat and you want the votes to go down a certain way, you're going to pick your person there. No, we're done with that. I'm sorry. We're done with that. And we cannot allow that to happen, especially in our county. And that needs to go. That needs to just end. It's an open seat. Whoever wants, they run. And even now, with the townships and everything else, they still, a lot of it's crazy. There's like mean girl stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm here for the people, and that's what I'm going to talk about, and that's who I just want to talk to the voters here. I'm not here to play musical chairs or whatever else you're into.
Sure.
So I've just kept that, and like I said, win or lose, I'm going to do it with all my heart. I'm going to do it for the people, and the results will be what they will be, and the people ultimately will get to pick, and as long as your message gets out.
Okay. Yeah. And would you say, like, the process that it sounds like you've described and that you've experienced, or that a lot of us are witnessing, is that it's not very democratic? Like, for people to get elected, it's not that democratic.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard because of the gatekeepers, and don't go just people like holding hands and really covering up certain, it's just, and I think that needs to go. You just tell the voters, these are the people we have, and this is this person, this is this person. Pick who you want. That's it. It's just that simple.
It'd be a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, and instead of being like, oh, I owe this person favors, so I'm going to protect this person, and when this person's petitions come, I'm going to throw them out the window.
Oh, yeah.
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 So no, we can't do that anymore. That's what happens. I don't know. People, I feel like sometimes, I don't know, they feel like they have loyalty to people who they, and you don't. You're a voter, and you have a choice, and you pick who you want. You don't have to pick the same person for years and years on end.
Sure.
You have a choice. You have, you have your own worries, and you have your own stuff to worry about, and you should pick what's best for you and your family and your county, and what is right. Okay. What is the right thing to do, because ultimately that's what it comes to.
Okay, that's awesome. Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything else that's on your mind?
I just hope that we could get to a place where there isn't that pressure from the party when you try to run for anything. And, if anything, they should facilitate that effort, have more candidates, have more talks, have more townships where each candidate gets to talk and speak to the voters. And if we have that, it'll not just, like you said, be cheaper. It'll be better it'll be a conversation. It'll always be a conversation. It won't be this person's elected and this is what we're going to do. This is the slate you vote on. None of that. Just who's the person, tell us who that it is, and I'm the voter, I want to know everything. Like you go to a restaurant, it should be just that simple.
Sure.
Give me all the options, what are these options? Okay, I'll pick that. That's it.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
It seems like there is so much external influence on politics, and then all the internal competition,
Yeah.
and then the public gets what's left over
Yeah.
a lot of times, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. And I think that if every candidate was out there just doing it for the people, the transparency, then it would be a lot different. If it was just the people that mattered and the people in the center of it, and if they were part of the conversation, it'd be a lot different. And the people are who have the power. The people elected don't have anything.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the people who are the ones making the calls, and they know how strong and powerful the people are. So just not telling them what's on the menu is sometimes, ignorance, like they say, to keep them ignorant. But the people do have the power. If they were given the information they were given, if they knew what was and what wasn't, they would make the right decision.
Okay. It's awesome to sit down with you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I hope to catch up with you again. And also, I wish you the best of luck in your race.
Thank you.
In the DuPage County Board District 2.
Yay!
Okay.
There we go. It's a long one. Yeah.
Okay. And is there a place where people can find you, or?
Yeah. So go on mahnoorfordupage.com or Mahnoor for DuPage on Instagram. Our campaign tries to be up to date on whatever events we're having or canvassing, and I would really appreciate any support, especially when it comes to canvassing and getting out there and talking to the voters. That is #1 priority for me, and I think it should be for everyone to just get in, talking to the voters and talking to people what's going on.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.